Welcome to Playful Podcast, your guide into the underground scene where we discover topics on kink and electronic music every week. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss out on our next episode. We are super happy to be here today with the DJ SUPERGLOSS, whose musical style sits between the genres of acid, trance and techno. In this episode we speak about her set that completely blew up and what that was like for her from preparation to the after effects of what it did to her career. We also get to know more about her musical journey as well as why Berlin and how she has handled and worked with her self-image to grow and overcome insecurities, and so much more. Let's get it. I am Amanda, and this is Playful Podcast.
I actually never wanted to move to Berlin. I was visiting the city sometimes with my best friend when we had to go to exhibitions from our university, something like this. And I remember when we walked over Prenzlauer Allee or Landsberg Allee or something like this, and we looked around, we're like, oh my God, it's so ugly.
Lina, so welcome to Playful Podcast.
Thank you.
We're so happy to have you here.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
All right, I'm gonna just start like we always do. What are 3 words that you would describe yourself using?
Okay, 3 words. I think I am a really independent person. I like to rely on my own choices and be free in what I'm doing without having to rely on other people. I am really clumsy. I think I take like 20 minutes a day searching for my phone and always breaking things, losing things. And I think I'm really passionate. For me, it's really important to like what I'm doing. Also really passionate in relationships and with other people. I just like to have or feel strong emotions as like having emotions as a big part of my life.
So it's kind of something that guides you, you would say?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Were you always like that?
I think so, yeah. I think like being passionate comes a bit later in your life because before you cannot really tell or feel the difference between just liking something and being passionate about something. I think it comes a bit later when you're trying to figure out what you really want to do in life. And I think, for example, as choosing what you want to do as a profession, being passionate was really important for me.
All right. So did you have any jobs when you were younger that you were like really not passionate about?
I think more where I didn't feel passionate than when I really felt passionate about it. I think my first job, I worked at a burger restaurant.
Yeah.
And it was good to learn like the basics of job life. But we had no customers. It was really bad, so I was really bored, and we were not allowed to sit down.
Fuck,
we
that's the
stay
worst.
up all the time.
No, I had also one job where I was so bored. That's the worst.
Yeah.
Actually, like
I had other jobs in gastronomy, but it was better because I was like just working all the time.
Normally, that's gastronomy. Like you work really hard and it's really intense, and like 12 hours goes by. It's like poof, disappears.
And you feel like you're actually doing something. But if I'm doing something, I don't feel a purpose in it because I had to just like stand up and wait for customers to arrive. I was just like alone with my thoughts.
I can really see this. You standing there, looking out from the window and just like
sometimes looking at security cameras watching me.
Oh my God. All right. How long did you last?
Not long. It was also the first job that I quit. Yeah. It was like it was a really like key moment for me. I remember that it was really cute. My mom was taking a bath and I was like coming up to the bathroom and I was like, I want to quit my job. And she was just laying there in the foam and like, just do it. And I took my phone.
Oh my God, she sounds like a queen.
Don't be so dramatic. And I was just like putting the text in my phone to the boss. And then I was so nervous that I just like threw my phone in the corner and ran out of the bathroom. I was like, too stressful for me. But it was a life lesson. If you don't enjoy something, just like, don't do it.
Exactly, and you're not gonna disappoint. Like,
Yeah.
or like take yourself first at least.
Yeah.
But who were you then more as a teenager?
As a teenager, when does teenage age start? At 13, right?
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's more so when you feel like a teenager.
Okay, yeah.
So it can be, some people are like earlier, but this is just my own.
I think for me it was maybe a bit earlier because I got into school when I was 5. It's pretty early for
How come?
Germany. I have an older sister. She's 2 years older than me, and she was pretty lazy as a child. I would say sorry to my sister, but she made me read like books to her. So I learned to read really early because she didn't want to read the books for school.
The nice sister.
Yeah, no, I love her. And
yeah, but I mean you.
she taught me how to read, so she didn't have to read by herself. And that made, like, I had to take this test.
Can I ask, what does she do today?
She's the owner of a company.
Look at this!
Businesswoman, yeah.
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah, she knows how to make people work for her.
I mean, it's a skill. Perfect. I love this.
Yeah. And so I got into school pretty early, and that just went on until I finished school, because I also switched school at some points, and I was always the youngest one. I was always like 3 to 4 years younger than anyone else after I switched schools. Because it was like a school for people who already had like a Ausbildung, I don't know how to say it, like were trained for a job before, and then went back to school to do like their Abitur, their degree. So,
did you have friends? No, but I mean, because some kids, they are like, oh, this person is so young.
Yeah,
you know?
but that really, like, that was this thing when you're always the youngest person, is that you want to be liked by other people and always show them how mature you are. So I played that game where I was like, no, I'm just as cool as you are. And
you
trying
knew
to be like the entertaining one and the funny one. I was the one who, like, when my parents were gone, I would invite the people to my house party.
All right, you knew how to play.
Yeah, to be like accepted by the older people. But I had a really nice friend group, actually. It was like always my dream to have like this group of 5 girls, always spending time with each other, going like experiencing like this teenage age together. And that worked really well for me. I found like really nice people around me. Yeah.
Nice, but then you were a little bit cheeky, like a little bit wild too, having the, but you also play the piano. Yeah.
I started when I was 5. Also, like when I went to school, I also started to play the piano. I always wanted to play the harp. Actually, is it called like that?
Yeah.
But my mother didn't allow it because she said it's such an ugly instrument.
It is very ugly. But I mean, how cool would it be if you would play it?
Yes, it looks so aesthetic. It can be like in a nice like dress.
Exactly. You can make it
at weddings with a nice dress. I think I wanted to play it because I saw like a pregnant woman playing the harp in some video, and I was like, oh my god, I want to be her.
Oh, okay. Are you still feeling that you would like to be a mother? Or was this just a child?
No, it was just because of the aesthetics.
Okay. Okay. Because when I was a kid, I was also obsessed with like mothers or like people with belly, you know, like children in the room. I don't know if it's cute. Today I'm the opposite.
Same, actually.
So maybe I
don't want to be a pregnant woman at the harp. No, not anymore.
But I mean, I think the harp is what you say. It is actually also beautiful, but somehow my mind thinks about it with like spider's web around and like a little bit scary.
It's a bit of a random instrument.
Yeah.
And you also don't have this moment where a harp is just staying in the room somewhere.
No, never seen. Never seen.
With a piano, you can have like this moment where there's a piano in the room and you're like, actually, I can play something. And this is never happening with any other instrument, really. So, yeah, I took classes. It was pretty intense. I had like this really strict Polish piano teacher. I would not enjoy it at all. I also didn't enjoy classical music at this time. I had her until I was like 13 maybe, and I would cry at every lesson because I didn't enjoy, so I didn't practice.
So she saw you crying?
Yeah, but she was like super strict. She was
wow.
okay, now we're pushing you to the edge. Maybe crying makes your skills better or something like this.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it was like this cycle. If you don't enjoy it, you're not practicing. And then you come unprepared for practice. And then it's just like this cycle. But eventually I was always like...
Bad energy.
Yes, so much. But then I quit also that. I brought up the courage to say that I don't want to go to her lessons anymore. And then I switched teachers. It was really good. I started to play music that I actually like. I was super into pop music at this time. I'm born 1998, so I was like really born in this age of pop stars.
Yes.
And I was super. I think my first CD that I bought for my own money was from Rihanna. This album with Umbrella. And
wow. Yeah, I'm the Britney Spears era.
Yeah, that's a bit earlier, no?
Yeah, I'm in 1990.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, but then what was your introduction to electronic music then from there?
I think it came also more from this electronic music that was playing in the radio a lot. I didn't have like this really niche music taste that I hear from other people who work in the music industry now, that they were like, yeah, since I was 3 years old, I listened to this super complex electronic music. But for me, it was more actually EDM that turned me into electronic music.
I mean, I think that's super normal.
Yeah,
for
right?
me too. It was the same. Yeah, that was what I knew, because in the clubs that's what was played in my city. Like,
yeah, and I went clubbing. I started clubbing when I was like 15. I took the ID of my sister and went with my older friends, of course. And there they had like this, of course, what I now feel is a bit not my taste anymore. Had like this Avicii and all of these big electronic music names, and this was my first introduction. But later, when it went more into this techno genre, I was living in Hamburg at that time. I was studying there. And
what did you study there?
I studied fashion journalism.
Yeah.
And I was also working at a bar. And after my shift, I sometimes felt like I need to get some energy out of me, because if you have like this really hectic... I worked in a club at the bar, and I had like this really hectic surrounding. And when you come home, also now after gigs, you come home and you just feel like, oh my God, I cannot sleep. I had too much going on before, so I
adrenaline.
Was like, yes, exactly. So I was like, okay, I need to go somewhere and just dance or do something like this. And then we had a techno club right around the corner from my work.
Ah, really?
And
okay.
I went there alone, maybe, I don't know, once a month after my shift. And this is where I really got into techno music, because like the music was not super special there, but it was a good introduction into techno music, because it played more this minimal sound. And there I really started to understand, like, I like this, I want to know more about this. And yeah, I think that was my introduction. I gave it to myself.
Yeah, no, but did you have, like, when you got... So then from there you were like, since you played the piano, it was easier for you to also see yourself creating the music or like DJing?
I think it can definitely help if you have some background of musical education.
Just like putting yourself in that, like, I can also create, or like, you know, I can I'm not only a listener. I think I am definitely only a listener, but for many reasons. But yeah.
No, yeah, if you play an instrument, you will feel more confident with other instruments as well. And for me, playing on the DJ setup is also an instrument. Not as native as playing like the piano, but you're also like creating sounds, and you're also creating, like, if you mix tracks with each other, it can completely create something else and new. So I think like just this skill of creating something and also putting something that from your hands to the outside.
Exactly.
Can really help you.
And the confidence that like what I'm creating is something that people enjoy listening to. I guess you play the piano for your family.
Yeah.
And these
at
things.
Christmas, I always had to play the piano.
So cute. Oh, but then from there, like, when did you get your first gig, or like, did you have any artists that inspired you or inspired your sound? Or
It's really interesting actually, because I was not really aware of DJ culture or like this whole culture of techno scene and techno community. It was because of a friend that I met at this time. And they were super into clubbing and techno music. And he asked me if I want to come to a festival with them. And I said like, okay, who's playing? And he showed me the lineup that is now like, if I look at this lineup now, I know every single name because it's just like the stars of the techno world. But I looked at it and I was like, I know nobody. That was like 3-4 years ago. Oh. And then he was like, okay, we need to fix this. You need to be educated in this. If you want to come to this festival, you cannot come and know nobody. So he actually sent me one DJ every day with a short introduction and about their musical style.
That is so nice.
Yeah, he was really like pushing me and educating me, which I'm really grateful for. And I saw how interesting it was for me. And I also had then my first clubbing experience in Berlin. And I was just looking at the DJ and I was like, what the fuck is going on? How is she doing this? And I was just looking at the mixer like, what the fuck is going on?
So much, so many buttons.
Yeah. And I'm a really curious person. So I wanted to find out how to do it. And my best friend also taught me how to DJ. And during that process where he educated me about all of this, and when I started mixing by myself, I found people who inspired me to do things. It was not like one big, one big idol or something like this, but just like listening to other people's mixes. I found out what I like, what I don't like, and then it also helped me to find my own style.
Yeah, I mean, this is super interesting because it feels like you have such a fun selection. Like it feels like you've been listening to a lot of things.
I'm constantly listening to music. And I'm also this person that's not afraid to pull out the Shazam on the dance floor.
Why should you be ashamed?
People shame you for this sometimes.
Oh, really?
They like don't steal the track IDs or something like this. I mean, for me, it's not stealing. It's a bit getting inspired. And it doesn't mean like for example, if a DJ creates like a magical moment with this track at the club, I will not use this track because it was for this moment. But maybe it can inspire me to find other tracks by these artists or from the same EP or something like this.
100%. It's bullshit that you can create the same vibe as another artist with the same track.
That would be stealing, or a bit like
trying
trying
to copy. It's not possible. Like you have your energy.
Yeah, also true.
I mean, if you would take the whole set list and play it.
Yeah, that would be
I mean, but come on. It's just like two tracks that are next to each other if there's one track before that track that is different, the whole energy is changing.
That's true.
Right?
You could put it in a different context. The track when you put it in your set.
But people, it's such a competitive scene, so I understand also that people get stressed.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to get inspired by other people. It's just like sometimes it's also important to give credits. And I'm also not ashamed to go to other people and say, wow, you were really inspiring to me or something like this. Because I think it's super important in our community to support each other. And also if you feel like, okay, maybe I make myself smaller by coming to other artists and telling them that I enjoy their sets or something like this. For me, that's bullshit, because supporting each other is always nice. And also telling people that they're an inspiration for you. I feel really honored when somebody's telling this to me, and I don't think like, oh my God, they're a fan. Something like this.
No. I mean, the best people are, to me at least, the people who are like enjoying life and are not so...
Yeah.
So...
Overthinking all the time how they appear to other people.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, that stresses me a lot, actually. You can notice it very quickly when you talk to a person, actually. But then you moved from Hamburg to Berlin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Directly. How come? Why Berlin?
So I was living in Hamburg for 4 years until my studies, and we had to do an internship for 6 months, and I actually never wanted to move to Berlin. I was visiting the city sometimes with my best friend when we had to go to exhibitions from our university or something like this. And I remember when we walked over Prenzlauer Allee or Landsberg Allee or something like this, and we looked around, we're like, oh my God, it's so ugly. We could never.
Have you been to Sweden?
No, not yet, actually. And I was
to
walking.
us, it's beautiful.
Good.
Yeah.
We were walking and we were joking. We were saying like, one day the city is gonna get one of us, and it's gonna be you. She said, and pointed at me, and I was like, okay, I'm not prepared for this. I don't know why I had such a strong like. I didn't feel connected at all to the city. It was for me just too big and not beautiful enough as the city image. And then I had to apply for an internship, and I wanted to stay in Hamburg because I was already far away from home, and I want to have like this full experience for the whole 4 years that I'm going to be there. But nobody took me, so I started to apply to Berlin, and there I found an internship.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, okay, you were right. It got me.
She was psychic.
But after I moved there and found like this short-term rental thing, and after 2 weeks, I was like, actually, I like it here.
Yeah, already after. Did you have friends living here?
No, not at all.
No?
I came here completely by myself, and I moved into this really rancid shared flat. It was actually horrible, but it had a super nice balcony, and I was sitting and watching the people on the street. And after a while, I found really nice friends. And this was really important for me because in Hamburg, I had a really hard time connecting with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's known that like up north in Germany, people are a bit more closed.
Or up north generally.
But yeah, closed, yeah.
Southern people, I mean, all the time you hear about people who are like going south, and they're like, wow, I had so much fun.
The people are so nice.
They're so nice.
Yeah, I'm from the south of Germany, so I'm used to have like small talk with people, and I'm used to like being friendly with people if you work with them. And it's not like in Hamburg the people are not friendly. For me, it was just hard to build real friendships there. And also with the people I knew from my jobs or something like this. So I came to Berlin and I was like, wow, people are actually wanting to be friends with me. I started to doubt myself in Hamburg. It's like, maybe I'm just like not likable or something like this. So I moved to Berlin and I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay here. Do people actually like me here?
Yeah, obviously it wasn't a fit there.
Yeah,
but like, what makes you want to stay in Berlin today?
This is a big point, that it's easier to connect with people here. I think it's because there's a lot of people moving here from their actual homes, and everybody has a bit of more need to connect and to form like friendship groups. And I think it's also because you feel a bit more, how to say it, anonym in the city.
Anonymous. Yeah. Definitely.
You have like this urge to be more, to be seen a bit by people that are close to you and really feel heard by them. And this is also why I really like club culture here, which also makes me stay here. Because it's so lovely to me to see how people are engaging with each other at the club. And I think it's really unique because with my job now, I travel a lot and I see a lot of clubs, obviously. And I like to observe a bit the people and how they're interacting with each other. In Berlin, it's really nice for me because they are so open with each other, the people, and even if they're like, okay, just party friends or whatever, it's also good to have party friends.
So good. I mean, it can also be such a close relationship, but just completely different, right?
Yeah, and just in a different context, because it's also super important to feel safe with the people you're going out with. Yeah. And if you have this, then you can really, have a strong bond with each other as long as you're aware that they're just party friends, for example, you can also like build this relationship in this way and say like, okay, we have these moments at the club, and maybe outside we also maybe completely different people or living our life completely differently.
But do you feel like, so you're like, since your career is pretty fresh, but do you feel that connections has also somewhat evolved you? Like, is it important to create connections to evolve in the scene, you think?
I'm not sure, because for me, if I talk about myself, I don't know how it is for other people, but for me, it's more important to connect with the people who actually listen to my music and support me as a DJ, and to have a nice connection with them. Because for me, I am a bit bad at small talk. And if you are meeting like people who work in the same industry, who are like bookers or promoters, I always get a bit shy. Because I know that you will only meet them for a couple of hours maybe. And if you don't have like this connection that feels a bit more friendly and casual right away, I start to become a bit more introverted. Because I know like, okay, we only have like 1 hour together. What should we talk about?
You get stressed also, like, now I need to do an impression.
And how should I come off? I always wanted, for me, it's the main thing, what is important for me when connecting with other people from the industry, is just treating them how you want to be treated as well. Like being professional, being friendly, being nice with each other. Because in the end, they're the ones who make your job work. They're the ones who book you and who give you the shows. So, of course, you want to be in a good connection. But I'm not sure if it can really help you to evolve your career. Because in the end, what I said in the beginning, it's more important that you have a good connection to the people who like your music or your mixing, because that's the people who come to the club.
Exactly. That's your crowd. But did you have any, like, obviously, if we speak about highlights, your hair set completely blew up.
Yeah.
What was that for you?
It was really crazy, actually. I was not waiting for a result like this. I was, because, before this stream, I had not that much attention. If we're speaking about Instagram followers or something like this, I had maybe like 1,000 Instagram followers. I was like playing more local gigs, more in Berlin for smaller collectives, which I also really enjoyed. And then this hairset came, and it was at a really strange point in my life also. It was a bit, I started to study again because I was not happy in the job that I was working at. I was working at a magazine. I was feeling like I was stagnating a bit. I didn't really move forward, and I was not feeling passionate about it anymore. So I wanted to start studying again, but I also didn't like the studying. So I quit, and I was without job. I was living off my savings, and I had like this hair stream was the one thing that I had like in my calendar.
It was the thing.
So I had like 1 month to prepare myself like really intensively for it.
You can hear that. Well fucking done putting your energy there.
And it was something that I really looked forward to, and I knew that it can help me a lot if I work really hard for it. But I was not waiting for this result. But I think it had like 100,000 views after 1 week. And I was just sitting there, and I was like, okay, so what to do now? And I had like so many messages. People were following me on all platforms. Agency were calling to me, sending me emails. And also, apart from not having a job and not going to this university anymore, my old agency just kicked me out, so I was without agency as well.
Perfect.
Like, turning point.
Their loss. I mean, they watch her now. What a mistake. What movie is that? Big mistake. Pretty Woman. Big mistake. Big mistake.
For real. No, and then I was like intensively preparing for it and had this nice result. Had all of these opportunities, like so many doors were opened for me at this moment, and it was really...
When was it out? When was it out? When was it released, the Her set?
I played it at beginning of March.
March, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like half a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now it opened so many doors for me, and I was a bit overwhelmed by this, actually. I felt a bit stressed.
No wonder.
Like, I was really happy about it, of course, but it also made me feel like I had a lot of people watching now what's going to be my next step and how I turn this attention into something like that's going to stay a bit longer. Not like, because it was important for me not only have this one big stream from getting a lot of attention, it was important for me to actually use it for my future, which worked out really well, actually. Now with the agency that I'm in, I'm really happy, and with the gigs that I'm playing now because of this, I don't think it's only because of this stream, it was just like this door opener, because
well, you've done a lot of work coming to this point.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not that.
Yeah, it was not luck, I would
No,
say.
of course not. It never is. I don't believe really in that. Or if it would have been, people would have noticed it. So
yeah.
Or like, I mean, it actually
having luck with algorithm is also a big part of it, because like the YouTube thing is also working, but if the algorithm is working but the music is shit, then you also will not have a nice result from it.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and it was nice for me to confirm for myself that what I'm doing is good, which is also really important for me. And I learned a lot from it, actually. I also learned that you don't need to read every comment.
Yeah, I hear that.
I stopped reading my YouTube comments.
Yeah, better. But I mean, there's so many good ones. You can read those.
Yeah, but the human brain really likes to focus on the negative comments more than the positive ones.
Who does?
Me.
You do.
My
My brain.
brain.
I think that's common too. Or at least like
taking it more, not taking it more seriously, but putting more attention to it.
Yeah. I
mean, some of the comments made me laugh, really, because they were just like worded so funnily. But yeah, sometimes it's just a bit, especially comments on the body and comments on outer appearance is always a bit
completely woman hate. Yeah. Fuck. So
but
sorry.
yeah, I learned from it, and I think it's good if you have at the beginning of your job or your career, you have this right away, that you already know how to deal with things like this. It's also a nice learning. Some people need more years to do it, and I had it not right from the beginning. I was doing DJing a few years prior, but I felt like it was a good. I'm really happy and I'm really grateful for it. Yeah.
You should be. Really. It's amazing.
We have now come to the part of the podcast where if you are or want to become a Patreon and support the work that we do, as well as get more juicy material, go to patreon.com/playfulmagazine. In this extra material, we speak to SUPERGLOSS about her view on setting goals and attaining them, as well as her view on the techno scene, discussing the way producers stand in the shadow of DJs and how that affects the scene, and much more. Go to patreon.com/playfulmagazine.
So like all these, this awareness or these insecurities that suddenly you're so aware of that people point in, have you been dealing with them also in other situations or afterwards?
Yeah, definitely. I am always super nervous before shows, to be honest. When I played my first show, I think nothing will ever top this. I was like my hands were shaking so much that my friend had to come on stage and help me put in my users.
Oh no, and you're clumsy too, fuck.
Yeah. It's a combination of both. It got better now, but I still feel really nervous, and this nervousness just comes from insecurity. And it's not insecurity that was given to me from the outside, but just like from the inside, and just like imagining every scenario that could happen, and not just like these outer just like these self-doubts, like, are people going to like it? If this and this DJ is playing before me, will people still stay for my set? Are they waiting for something else? And it never happened to me that I have played like a bad gig, but inside of me there was always like self-doubts. So
but I hear these exact thoughts from DJs who have been in the scene for like 5-10 years.
Also,
I don't think it's...
I also looked for having this conversation with people who work a bit longer in this industry, and they told me like it will get better, but it will never fully disappear, and you just need to learn how to handle it. And I think it has a lot to do with stepping out of your comfort zone, but also stepping out of your comfort zone makes you realize you're growing and you're enhancing your skills. Because if you have like certain shows with certain number of people in the crowd, you feel like, okay, check, I did it and I survived and I did a good job. But if your career is evolving, you have bigger and bigger shows. And for me, it came super early. I didn't have like a lot of time to create the self-confidence to really know, okay, if this and this technical error will happen, then I know how to react on this. So all the time before sets, I go through my head like, what if this happened? I will need to do this. What if like my headphones don't work or whatever? Like what if there's an emergency loop or something like this? And it's just like staying calm and learning how to trust your skills. When I'm preparing a set, I always, and I just accepted this from me, I always have like this breakdown point where I'm just like emotionally completely done. I prepare something and I'm like, I hate this. This will be so bad. People will hate this music. And also I think my friends can confirm this. Sometimes I was practicing and I just like turned off all the equipment, sat on the floor, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want this job anymore. I don't want to be a DJ anymore. I want a normal job where I don't need to be on stage, where I don't need to show anything to anyone. I just like, I don't want to do it anymore. And
stressful.
After this, I realized I need to have this point to create something where I feel so out of touch with expectations from myself and other people that I can really create something nice. Because if these insecurities come from all the sides where you make yourself feel like people have expectations from you, crowd has expectations from you, and if you let loose from that after having like this breakdown moment, also in other situations in life, not only when preparing music or playing sets, I think you can create something really nice that comes really from your heart and not from your head. Stuff like this I needed to learn pretty fast, but I'm at this point now and I'm really happy about it, because then I think this is really what self-confidence is about. Not being super cool all the time, but learning how to deal with your own emotions and also just accepting that you feel frustrated sometimes.
100%.
Also not feeling happy all the time.
No, it's with any job or any... But did you feel welcome from the beginning? Like, did you feel that the scene has been welcoming to you all the time? Yeah. I actually never had a bad experience when playing somewhere, or if... internet, different thing, but in real life I never had a bad experience, and I got a lot of nice feedbacks also from other DJs right from the beginning. Nice.
Yeah, that was really nice, because I always had this image that there was like more gatekeeping happening maybe, but for me this was never the case, and I felt super supported all the time, also from other people, also from promoters and people who do events. I felt really welcomed, and that's also why I enjoyed to do it. And that's also important about having the connection with people from the scene. Also being grateful for what you have, and even if you don't have the best slot in the night, or if you
make it the best slot.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it. I mean, also not every party can be mind-blowing.
No, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's so many parties in the world, and I think it's just important to know your worth, as in your skills and who you are as a person, and to not let you bring down from stuff like this.
Yeah, 100%. Are you stressed about the traveling or the work-life balance that you're facing now, or does it feel fine? Do you think that?
Sometimes it stresses me a bit because I cannot sleep in hotel bed.
Oh shit!
It can be like the most comfortable bed ever, and some of them are amazing if you lay for 30 minutes. But after a while, I'm like, I cannot. I always had a problem with falling asleep, to be honest. But staying in hotel beds, oh my god. If I could like bring my bed from home with me, I would.
But I don't think it's only the bed; it's also the whole atmosphere. It's the pillow, it's the room, it's the comfies. Yes, the smell, huge.
Yeah, and I had to get used to it because I went from playing gigs in Berlin right after this hair stream. I went to like sometimes playing 3 shows in different countries in one weekend, and it's really a big lifestyle change. Not only the traveling, but also the preparing for traveling, coming home after traveling, how you spend your free time and all of this stuff. Huge lifestyle change. And then when you travel, you're just like in this mode of, okay, I'm so out of touch with my life that I have at home. And it's so different. And you meet so many people, it's so many impressions at the same time. You're playing a gig, you're coming home, showering maybe for 30 minutes, going back to the airport and stuff like this. And for me, it's just super important that I see this as my work. And I am also accepting when I cannot really have the best time while I'm in my workplace. Which is the traveling, obviously. Everything else is super nice and I really enjoy it. But also if I cannot sleep, if I have maybe 8 hours of sleep for 3 days, I just need to accept it. And then when I'm home, for the work-life balance, it's really important for me to take time for myself and reflect on what happened, and also spend time with people who are not working in the scene or not part of the techno scene. Because if you only spend time with people, you start to get into this work talk immediately, and then your whole life is evolving about this.
Suddenly,
topic.
your world is too small.
Yes, exactly.
And
that's why it's really important for me to spend time with friends, know about their life, speak about their problems, speak about their things, and also accepting that I like to spend time at home. I like to be cozy at home, even if it's a sunny day outside and I don't feel
it's okay.
Like communicating with other people and socializing. I also made sure with all of my friends that they're not pissed on me when I say like I cannot talk to anybody today because I'm so tired of traveling.
No, I feel that. Also, you need like people in your life who accept you for your. Okay, I have a little thing now. It's called If You Watched Playful Podcast. You know it. It's this or that. So I'm gonna say 2 statements or 2 words, and you let me know which one fits in on you the most.
Okay, exciting.
It's either this or it's that. This is this or that.
Anime or horror?
Horror.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I just started. My boyfriend introduced me into Saw.
Oh my god, I'm obsessed and I hate it at the same time.
Yeah, I was always too scared to watch it.
They're
but
so
then
good.
I realized how good a good horror movie can be. I hate jump scares, and this movie doesn't have any. I like horror movies without jump scares and a good story.
Jump scares are the worst. Yeah. That's not fun. No, yeah, I feel you. But okay, I would have assumed the first. This is why I love this game. Ramen or fries?
Fries.
Yeah,
it's really hard. I'm vegetarian. It's really hard to find a good vegetarian ramen. I think the
really,
ramen lives from the meat flavor.
Yeah, it often tastes better, maybe.
And fries, I love the fries that you do at home in the oven.
Really?
Yeah.
You are so weird.
I'm the sick person. I eat when I put fries in the oven, I keep some frozen at the side and eat the frozen fries.
Who are you? All right, so fun. I wonder what this means. All right, rooftop bar or smoky Kneipe?
In summer, rooftop bar is nice. I like to feel posh sometimes.
Yeah. Do it. One best friend or 10 semi-good ones?
No, one best friend.
I would also assume. Cigarettes or weed?
I don't like the feeling of weed anymore. So I would choose cigarettes. Weed makes me feel a bit, I need to be on my own when I smoke. I'm being like really antisocial, and I don't like, I would like to have this feeling of being in a group and smoking together. I'm always a bit jealous when people can do it. When I do it, I'm like, oh my God, did I think or say that?
Oh, I love that. So, yeah. Overthinking.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Front row or behind the booth? Like
Behind the booth
the
is like
DJ.
being a booth bitch. Like,
Yeah, you don't have to be a bitch. You can.
if I'm behind the booth, I'm a bitch.
Okay. Yeah, let's do.
But I would be front row.
Front row.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
sure. I like to see what's going on. Sometimes I'm looking like, in backhand there's like a bit of a window where you can see the hands of the DJ.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like,
Because you're pretty tall too, so you are everyone sees what you're doing with your phone, shazamming, and I love that. Can't wait to see it. Okay, open for all or strict door policy?
good question. I would say open for all. Because when people go to techno, if you're speaking about techno clubs, if people come there, they need to be interested in it. If you don't assume that there's many assholes in the crowd or the people who want to go, I think open for all is nice. Because I'm a bit sick of this super strict door policy, to be honest. Sometimes you go to parties and think like, why is everybody so pretty? It ruins the vibe a bit, no? Because you're staying there like, I want to be the pretty one.
I bet you're always the pretty one. I mean, you're delusional.
But when so many people are so pretty at a party, it feels a bit fake, you know?
I never thought that. I don't know. I think I'm too much in my own brain.
Strict door policy referring to parties where you feel they only let beautiful people inside. It's not reality.
I haven't seen those clubs.
Yeah,
or I haven't been to them, I think.
cannot say
Or if I've been there, I've been so occupied by other shit that I didn't think about it.
Yeah, maybe. Sometimes you don't have... Because I'm observing all the time.
I am not observing.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
I know everything going on in the club.
No,
always.
sometimes people are standing... Like, I don't have... I tried my eyes. Apparently, they're fine.
Yeah.
But sometimes people stand really close to me and I'm like...
You're looking through them?
Oh, hello! It's you. It's like the person I meet once a week, you know? I just don't see very well, I think. Or like I do, but I don't.
That's cute though. It's also a bit
Too much
crazy,
impressions
no?
for me.
Yeah, sometimes it's a bit hectic.
It's a bit hectic. Yeah.
But no, with a strict door policy, come on. If somebody's weird, kick them out. But for example, in Georgia, if you go partying there, I don't think they have a really strict door policy. And the party's amazing there. The people really rave, and it's more really about the music and the vibe. And the clubs are so dark, it doesn't matter which outfit you're in because you can't see shit. And there, I really like the atmosphere there. That's why I would say strict door. No, open for all.
Open for all.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good commercial for Georgia.
Yeah, everybody go.
Everybody go. So Tbilisi all the time. That's all I hear.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Spirituality or atheism?
Spirituality.
Yeah? You're a little woo-woo?
I'm not really educated in it, but I would say I identify myself more with spirituality than atheism. I wouldn't say I'm a big religion person. That is something else for me. But having a bit of like speaking about star signs and energies, and I like when people introduce it to me as a conversation topic.
It's such a conversation topic,
Right?
but it's also such a girl thing, right?
Yeah,
I
queer
heard
thing.
exactly. No, I heard there was this thing I read last week that was like it was that Joe Rogan's podcast was like the biggest turn-off ever for women.
Yeah.
However, the biggest turn-off for men was people who are interested in star signs.
Lame.
They can go hang out with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, chill with Joe Rogan. Stay away from me. I love talking about star signs. I think it's a really good conversation starter if you sit somewhere. And
What's your sign?
I'm a Sagittarius. Yeah.
What date? I love Sagittarius.
18th of December.
18th of December. 30 November. I'm like,
You're early Sagittarius. I'm late Sagittarius. And my ascendant is Leo, so I'm double bitch.
I think I'm Taurus. I'm like 2 Saggy and 1 Taurus. I don't know
But
which
also
one.
2 fire signs, no?
Yeah,
Just
and
Taurus
I'm
and fire
Saggy in
signs?
2 even. So I'm like really. I always read them and I'm like, that's me.
Yeah.
I
think sometimes you like to just believe what you read, but I can accept this. For me, it's fully okay to be fooled sometimes by this. Sometimes when you go somewhere at the dentist and there's like these magazines laying around for, I don't know, 50 plus women, and then you're like going to the star sign section and the person like writing something about, you will have an amazing day.
I'm like, I love it.
This is so me. I'm having the best time at the dentist. Huge things are waiting for me to do.
On my walk home from here, I'm gonna like nail it. Yeah. All right, introvert or extrovert?
Oh, I'm an extrovert. Or do you mean like extrovert? What is this choose option?
Well, I think to me, introvert is more so that you're getting energy from being by yourself, and extrovert is more so
by groups, right?
you need like to see people to be energized, kind of.
Yeah, sometimes it really charges up my batteries in groups. If it's a nice conversation and we're hanging out with each other and we're having a nice time, but with strangers in groups, not so much. They're more introverted, actually.
Lina, amazing. Thank you so much for this lovely talk with you. It was so much fun.
It was nice to talk to you. Thank you.
This was it for Playful Podcast this week, but please follow, subscribe, and listen to our next episode. And if you want to have a say about future artists, or even ask your own question to one of our guests, follow us on Instagram and make sure to add your question when we lift our coming guests. Thank you so much for joining, and see you next week.